Hi, my name is Micheline DeBono. I am a certified and registered yoga teacher in New York, and I am also a Reiki master teacher trainer. I've been practicing yoga for the past 18 years and teaching for about 6, and practicing Reiki since 2008. So we're gonna do a gentle flow today, moving gently and stretching and some breath work. So welcome and thank you for joining in. You can use, if you have props, blocks, and a blanket, that's great. If you don't have blocks, you can use, if you have 2 big books, they can come in handy. We're gonna start in hard bench. And I'm gonna give different options to do this. So those of you who do have blocks, you're gonna use 1 block this way. And the base of it is gonna come at the lower end of the shoulders, and then the other block will be used to support your head. You can have your legs straight, or you can bring the bottom of the feet to touch, knees splayed outward, and the arms are gonna open up. We're gonna start opening up the chest, stretching the front of the shoulders, which is a nice counteract if you're working, spending hours on the computer, counter stretch. If you don't have blocks, you can use 2 blankets or towels. And the 1 blanket will be rolled higher for the head, and the other one flat like this. You start coming to your breath in this space. And just for a few moments, feel the ground beneath you, heels touching the floor, maybe the outside of the legs or the back of the legs, the back of the arms, shoulders opening up, back of the head resting on that block or pillow or whatever prop you have handy. We'll start coming to the breath, allowing yourself to fully arrive here. You're inhaling deeply through the navel area and then expanding the ribs all the way up to the chest. We're inhaling and exhaling through the nose only, keeping the lips gently closed, inhaling deeply, exhaling deeply. And we're inhaling into the navel area, into the ribs, all the way up to the chest, and then exhaling from the chest, ribs come together, navel empties out. Inhaling deeply, exhaling deeply. And if you're new to this 3-part breath, you can place your left hand at the center of the chest, right hand at the navel, and inhale, intentionally allowing the navel area to expand and fill up. And then bring that breath all the way up to the chest, so the chest expands and lifts up. On the exhale, let the chest drop first, and then going down where the navel squeezes in and up towards the spine, emptying out completely. Taking 3 more nice long deep breaths, just like that. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling deeply. If you have Ujjayi breath, it's constricting the back of the throat to create the sound of the ocean as you inhale and exhale. You can start engaging that. And then inhaling deeply, reaching both arms out and up. We're going to grab opposite wrists, forearms or elbows. Let the upper arms be heavy. Arms reaching back, elbows heavy, finding the stretch from the hips all the way to the armpits, to the elbows, maybe pointing the toes if your legs are straight. Inhaling deeply. Exhale. 1 more full round of breath, deep inhale. And then gently exhale, hands release next to the hips, softly bend the knees, 1 foot at a time, coming flat on the floor, chin towards the chest, pressing through the hands, softly make your way up to a seat. Moving the props to the side, inhaling deeply, reach both arms out and up. Exhale, taking a twist to the right. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, twisting over to the left. Inhale, center nice and long. Pressing from the sit bones, we're going to start leaning forward on the exhale, nice long spine. As you inhale, press through the sit bones, lengthening forward. On the exhale, releasing from the hips to the crown of the head. Maybe you tent the fingers, so pressing the fingertips, the wrists lift. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, gently reach both arms out and up. Exhale, hands together, side out to the mouth. We'll switch the cross of the legs. Inhaling deeply, reach up. Exhale, right hand down next to that right hip, left arm reaches up and over. Maybe the gaze comes up towards that left arm. Any pain or tension, past shoulder issues, maybe injuries or surgery, you can keep the elbow bent, even rest the hand behind the head. Inhaling deeply, coming back up to center, nice and long. Exhale, left hand down, start reaching over to the left with that right arm. Maybe you keep the elbow bent. Gaze might come up towards the ceiling or that arm. Inhale deeply, keep finding that breath. Right sit bone still pressing strongly to the floor. One more full inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to center, reach up nice and long. Exhale, lengthening forward, forward fold one more time. Inhale, nice and long. Exhale, maybe you reach forward a teeny bit more. Keep pressing to the sit bones. Deep inhale. Exhale deeply. Inhale, gently reach both arms out and up. Fingertips touch. Exhale, side out to the mouth. Let it all go. And we're going to make our way onto all fours. So we want to keep wrist, elbow, shoulders stacked. My fingertips are squared forward. Knees are stacked underneath the hips. On the inhale, we're going to come into what we call cow pose, rolling the heart up towards the ceiling. Tailbone presses up and navel drops down. On the exhale, chin towards the chest. Press strongly through the hands. Tailbone rolls down. Inhaling into your cow. Exhale, rounding the spine into your cat. Inhaling deeply. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. Exhale, lengthen here. Inhale, nice and long. We're going to extend the right leg back. Curl the toes under into the floor as you exhale. Press that heel back and you should feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg, especially the calf muscle. On the inhale, shifting the shoulders past the wrist. Bring the top of the foot onto the floor. Exhale. Roll into the ball of the foot. Press the heel back. Inhaling deeply. Shifting the shoulders forward, point the toes, press into the floor. One more. Moving slow with the breath. No rush, just be here. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling, shifting forward. Inhale, coming back to center. Lift that right leg up. We're going to cross it over to the left. Press the ball of the foot into the floor. Press through the heel and just take note, like check in with the right hip. You don't want the right hip kicking upward. Guide it down towards the floor and then bring your gaze over that left shoulder. Press as much as you can through that right hip. You should feel a nice deep stretch through the outer side of that right hip. Keep guiding that heel back, inhaling deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more full round of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Then inhale, coming back to center, right knee down on the floor underneath the hip. Lift up to the heart. Exhale, round into your cat. Inhale, lift up into your cow. Exhale, coming back into your cat. Inhale, deeply count. Exhale, round. Inhale, coming back to center on that neutral spine. Extend the left leg, curl the toes under, press through the heel as you exhale. Inhale, shifting shoulders forward, nails into the floor, press. Exhale, curl the toes under, press to that heel. Inhaling deeply, shifting forward. Exhale back, pressing to the heel. Inhale, coming back to center. Forward actually. And then exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, lift the left heel up. Exhale, cross it over. Press to the ball of the foot. Check in with that left hip that it's not lifting up, squaring down towards the floor. Guide the heel away from the body. Gaze over the right shoulder. Breathe. Breathe into the outer side of that left hip. Keep lengthening to the left side of the body. Find your breath. Deep, deep inhales. Deep, deep exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, left knee down. Inhale, lift up into your cat. Exhale, round into your cat. And we're going to keep this round spine and gently press back. Come onto the tip of the fingers. Keep dialing the tailbone down. Breathe into the space. You might feel tightness in the lower back or maybe the shoulders, wherever tightness shows up for you. Holding 2 more breaths here. You're inhaling deeply. Exhaling deeply. Keep rounding. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. And then on the next exhale, we're going to step our knees wide. Bring the big toes to touch. Press your hips back. Sit bones back. Lowering down. Maybe the forehead comes to the floor in child's pose. Inhale, nice and deep here. Exhale. Inhale, nice and long. On the exhale, we're going to walk the hands over to the right. You're going to get this deep stretch from that left hip all the way down to the tip of the left pinky. One more full inhale. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhaling deeply. Keep lengthening from the right hip to the tip of that right pinky. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. One more full round of breath. You might feel like you need to expand the breath more into the back of the body as you're pressing into the inner leg. And then gently inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, release. Child's pose. Anytime in class that you need to, child's pose is always there for you. One more inhale here. Exhale. On the next inhale, slowly we're going to start shifting forward, pressing the forearms into the floor. You might need to adjust your knees to hip width distance apart. And just slowly slide forward like a slithering snake. Press the hands underneath the shoulders. Press the feet into the floor. Kneecaps lift off the floor and the heart is moving forward. On the exhale, press strongly to the arms, pressing back into child's pose. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale. Slowly moving forward, keep hugging the elbows towards the rib cage, chin slides forward, and on the inhale, lift up to the heart. Exhale, pressing back with the hands, coming back into child's pose. 2 more, inhaling deeply. Exhale, sliding, pressing back into your child's pose. Inhale softly as you lift up. Sliding forward, heart lifts. Exhale, pressing back. Inhale, coming back to center. We're going to curl the toes under. And this time we're pressing back into our downward facing dog. So your feet are hip width distance apart again. My feet and hands are pretty much apart. If I had to go into a plank, there's enough space between my toes and my wrists, so the shoulders are just past the wrists and my heels are pressing back, my body's parallel to the floor. And exhale back into your downward dog. Knees are gently bent. Really engage through the feet. You can imagine sliding your feet separate to opposite sides. You'll feel the outer side of the hips firing up. Press through the fingertips. There's space between the ears and the shoulders, and my sit bones are pressing back. One more full round of breath here. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale, lift up high onto the ball of the feet. Gaze comes forward, and very mindfully start walking your feet forward towards your hands, forward fold, keeping the knees gently bent to protect the lower back. If your hands don't reach the floor, it's okay, just bend your knees more. You can always grab opposite elbows as well. We're gonna find 3 more nice long deep breaths here. We're inhaling deeply from the heels to the hips. And then exhaling from the hips to the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, gently release. Inhale, coming to a neutral spine, so fingertips on the floor or hands on the shins, and there's this length from my tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, fold. If you feel stable enough, you can keep the eyes closed as we move on the next inhale. Softly, knees gently bent, start reaching upward, fingertips touch above the head. Exhale, hands towards the chest. And we're going to take a few sun breaths, inhaling deeply, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, soft knees as you hinge from the hips and fold. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, soft knees lifting up. Fingertips touch. Exhale, hands to the center of the chest. We have 3 more to go. Inhaling deeply. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, soft knees as you lift up, reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, hands towards the center of the chest. Inhaling deeply, reach up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, soft knees lift up. Fingertips touch. Elbows can be bent or arms straight. Exhale, lengthen over to the right side. Really ground through that left foot. Inhaling, center. Exhaling over to the left. Ground to the right foot so you're not sinking your weight into the left. And there's length even in the left rib cage. We're not crushing the ribs. Inhaling, center. Exhale, hands towards the center of the chest. We're going to come into mountain pose. So we're going to bring the big toes to touch. I'm just going to turn around so you guys can see what I'm doing. Heels are slightly apart. Dropping the hands next to the hips, palms facing out. It helps roll the shoulders back and down. Lifting up nice and strong. Feel the feet grounding into the earth. You can create that almost like a sliding motion. To feel the outer side of the hips engaging. Feel the kneecaps lifting up as you engage the quads. Engage the navel area, shoulders soft. And then there's this length coming out from the heels as you inhale all the way up to the crown of the head. And then exhaling deeply from the crown of the head all the way up down to the feet. And there's this sense of heaviness, really rooting and grounding here in this space. Inhale deeply. Exhale. One more deep inhale. Exhale. And then adjusting the feet, we're gonna flow again. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, hands to the floor. We're gonna step the left foot back, release the left knee down towards the floor, and bring the hands on the right leg. So really pressing through that right foot. Try to lengthen the foot nice and long behind you. Press through the big toe and the pinky toe. You're gonna feel that left quad engaging in the left hip flexor. If your left knee is straight underneath the hip, if you have room, gently slide it back. And we're guiding the left hip forward, right hip back. Breathe here. Inhale deeply, maybe lift up a little higher to the heart, shoulders soft. Exhale, you have the option to stay here or bring the arms up. You can keep the elbows bent. You can reach all the way up. You can bring the palms together as long as the shoulders are not rolling up into the ears. Inhaling deeply. One more deep, deep exhale. Then gently on your next available exhale, we're going to start lengthening forward, left hand strong underneath that left shoulder. Inhale, right arm reaches up for a twist. Right knee is hugging towards the left shoulder. Crown of the head lengthening away from the tailbone. Inhale. Exhale. One more full round of breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale. On that next exhale, we're going to bring the right hand on the inner side of the right thigh, keeping that left hand down on the floor. And start guiding the knee outward. The bottom of the right foot lifts up, like opening up a book. You're guiding that right knee out to the side, opening up to the hip. But we're still twisting, so you're really pressing strongly through that left arm, guiding the right shoulder to stack above the left. One more full round of breath. And then gently on the next exhale, release that foot down, release the left hand down. Inhale, lift up to the heart. On the exhale, we're gonna really lengthen through that right foot, right leg, flexing the toes up. If you need your blocks here, or that book, or whatever prop you're using. If you don't have a prop, and your hands are not coming down to the floor, you can keep a gentle bend in that right leg. We're guiding the left hip forward, right hip back. Inhale deeply from that right heel to the hip. Exhale from the hip to the crown of the head. Inhaling deeply. Keep lengthening, heel to hip. Exhale, hip to the crown of the head. One more full round of breath. Deep, deep inhale. Exhale. And gently on the inhale, bend that right knee. On the exhale, curl the left toes under. We're going to shift the weight into that right foot. Step that left foot forward, fold. 3 nice long deep breaths. Inhaling deeply. Exhale deeply. Maybe hands are on the floor. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Maybe you wrap your hands around the back of the legs this time. You're inhaling deeply, lengthening from the heels to the crown of the head. Hips, and then exhaling from the hips to the crown of the head. Inhale deeply, heels to hips. Exhale, hips to the crown of the head. Gently on the next inhale, release, come to that neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Softly as we inhale, stacking one vertebrae at a time, moving super, super slow. Really mindful as you reach the arms out and up. Exhale, leaning over to the left, ground to that right leg. Inhaling deeply back to center. Exhaling over to the right, grounding strongly through that left leg. Inhaling center. Exhale, hands to the center of the chest. Inhale deeply from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Exhale, crown of the head to the base of the spine. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, hands to the floor. We're going to step the right foot back this time. Gently drop that right knee down. Release the top of the foot. And slowly lifting up. We're going to bring the hands on that upper left leg. Again, if you feel like you have room to slide that back knee back, take it. Right knee is moving forward. Right hip is moving forward. Left hip is moving back. Find that hip flexor. Breathe into it. Right side. Inhaling deeply here. Maybe lift up a little higher to the heart. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more nice long deep breath. Maybe you reach the arms up. On your next exhale, slowly start reaching forward. Frame that foot with both hands. Right hand is strong underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Deep inhales. Deep exhales. That left knee is hugging towards my right shoulder. Left shoulder is pressing back to stack above the right. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Gently release. Left hand on the inside of that left thigh. And we're going to slowly start opening that hip like an open book. So the bottom of the foot lifts up to the side. Gently breathing here into that hip. And we're still holding that twist. So my left shoulder is pressing to stack above the right. Inhale deeply. Tail, crown of the head lengthening forward away from the tailbone. Inhale. And gently exhale, start releasing. Inhale, lift up to the heart. Exhale, guide the hips back. If you need props underneath the hands, take them. We're squaring the toes up towards the ceiling, flexing the foot. Right hips pressing forward, left hips pressing back, so both hips are squared forward. And then find that breath. You're inhaling from the left heel to the hip. Exhale, maybe you release a little bit more from the hip to the crown of the head. Inhale, nice and long spine. Exhale. Inhale, heel to hip. Exhale, hip to the crown of the head. One more deep, deep inhale. Exhale deeply. Inhale, soften that left knee, lift up to the heart. Exhale, curl the back toes under. Lift that right knee up and shift the weight forward, forward, forward. 3 nice long deep breaths here. You have hands on the floor, holding on to opposite elbows, arms around the back of the leg. Or if you feel pretty open, maybe you find yogi toe lock. You're placing 2 fists between the toes, so feet are hip width distance apart. Using the pointer finger and the middle finger to wrap around the big toes. Inhale deeply, nice and long through the spine. And then as you exhale, you're guiding the elbows out to the side. Inhale, heels to hips. Exhale, keep releasing from the hips to the crown of the head. There's this length in the back of the legs. Knees are gently bent to protect the lower back. Then we're breathing into the top of the shoulders, expanding the space. Inhale. Exhale. Then gently inhale. Release whatever you're holding on to. Come to that neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, soft knees lifting up as you reach up. Exhale, reach over to the right side. Inhaling, center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhaling, center. Exhale, hands to the center of the chest. And we're gonna come into warrior 2. So right foot's forward, left foot steps back. We want that right heel in line with the back heel or the back instep. My front knee, right knee is stacked above the hip. If it's going past, that means you have more room to walk your foot forward. And we're working towards bringing the back part of the upper leg parallel to the floor. Shoulders stacked above the hips, arms wide open, gaze past the right fingers. Breathe here, really engage through the feet. Inhale deeply. Exhale. On the next inhale, lengthening nice and long through the front of the leg and reaching the arms up. Maybe the gaze follows the fingers. Exhale back into your warrior two. Inhaling deeply, reach up nice and long. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale. Keeping that front knee bent on the inhale, flip the right palm, reverse your warrior. Left hand releases down that left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Maybe the gaze follows. If you need to keep that elbow bent, please feel free to do so. One more full round of breath. And then gently on your next inhale, keep the arms as they are. Lengthen through that front leg one more time. And we're coming into triangles to start releasing the hands. Reach forward with that right hand as much as you can go. Left hip is pressing towards the wall behind you, and then release down. Maybe the arm is up here by the upper leg, maybe by the knee, maybe by the shin. Maybe you have yogi toe lock, these fingers around the big toe. And just bring your awareness wherever you are to the very base of the ribs and start cinching that area together, and you're going to feel your whole core engagement. And the breath is still flowing. Gently inhale, release, coming back into your warrior two. You're gonna reach both arms out and up. Square the feet towards the center of the mat, and then exhale, we're gonna come into warrior two on the opposite side. So left knee stacked above the ankle, shoulders stacked above the hips, gaze past the left fingers, really engage through the feet. Inhaling deeply, shoulders soft. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, palms turn upward, lift up, lengthen to that left leg. Maybe the gaze follows. Exhale back into your warrior two. Gaze follows that left hand. Inhale deeply, reach it up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale deeply. Exhale. On the next inhale, flip the left palm, reverse your warrior, right hand releases down. And there's this length coming out from the hip, left hip to the left armpit. Maybe you're bending the elbow here. Maybe you're lengthening, and the length is stretching all the way to the tip of the left fingers. Left knee still bent. On the next inhale, lengthen through that left leg. Keep the arms as they are. And then on the exhale, start releasing, reaching forward that left arm. My right hip is pressing back. Coming into your triangle. Again, wherever that needs to be, the hand, if you have yogi toe lock, you're wrapping the peace fingers around the big toes. And then bring your focus to the lower part of the ribs. Cinch them together. If you can breathe, you probably went too far, so back up a little. Shoulders are pressing back, hips forward. One more full round of breath. And then gently coming back into our warrior two. Inhale, reach both arms out and up. Straighten the legs, and we're going to step back to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, hands to the floor. To prepare, we're going to step 1 foot back at a time. You have the option to come into plank or lower down the knees to the floor. And then dropping down knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga. If you come into full chaturanga, if it's in your practice, please make sure you stop at a 90-degree angle with the knees, with the elbows. And we'll all meet in child's pose. Finding 4 nice long deep breaths here. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling deeply. Inhale. Exhale. Deep, deep inhale. Exhale deeply. And then gently, we're gonna come onto all fours to set up for pigeon pose. So you can extend, I'm gonna give different options. You can extend the right leg back here and then bring the right heel, the right knee in front of the, behind the right wrist, right foot behind the left wrist, and we slide that left leg back. My left hip squaring forward. If you want to take it from downward dog, allow yourself to do that. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. If you have any pain in the knees, I'm gonna give you a different option on your back and gently lowering down, maybe bringing the hands forward. If you feel like you're sinking into the right side, you can use a blanket or a block or a pillow and wedge it underneath your right hip so you can keep the hips squared down. If you need to be on your back, lowering down on the back. Left heel moves closer to the left hip, knees bent, right foot comes across the thigh. We're not pressing on the knee. Flex the toes, and then you're gonna start working the knee away from your hip and away from your shoulder. That feels pretty easy. You can wrap your hands around the back of the left upper leg or around the shin. Head is on the floor. You're inhaling deeply. Exhaling deeply. Inhale. Exhale. We're gonna hold for 6 more. Nice long deep breaths here, wherever you are. Inhaling deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Deep, deep inhale. Deep, deep exhale. Inhale deeply. And then gently on the next exhale, if you're on your back, you're gonna slowly release that left foot down. Keep the figure of 4. Open the arms out into a T, and you're gonna bring the right foot all the way down to the floor. My knee is still pressing away from my body. If you're on the floor in full pigeon, slowly walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, slowly start lifting up. And then gently on the exhale, press to the hands. You can come back onto all fours, child's pose or downward dog. Take whatever you need. And when ready, setting up left knee behind the left wrist, the left foot walks towards the right wrist. Inhale, lift, and then slowly start lowering down. Again, if you need to wedge something under that hip, if it's dropping down, take it. Those of you on your back, slowly start coming back to center. And then we're gonna switch, release the feet. If you need to hug the knees into the chest or take happy baby in between. If you're in happy baby, bringing the hands to the shins or the outer side of the feet, knees towards the armpits, feet towards the ceiling, tailbone pressing to the floor. And then gently, when ready, adjusting for the opposite side. So right knee, bend, foot on the floor next to the hip, left leg across, not pressing on the knee with that foot. You're gently guiding that left knee away from the body. The hands can be on the floor out in a T, wrapped around the back of the back upper leg, right upper leg, or around the shin. We have about 4 more breaths to play with. Being mindful of the knees, kind with our knees here. Slow down the breath. A deep inhale. Deep, deep exhales. And then gently, if you're on your back, we're gonna come into keeping that figure 4 and dropping the left leg over towards the right. If you're in full pigeon, slowly start walking your hands underneath the shoulders, lifting up to the heart. And from there, you can come back onto all fours, move through your cat-cows, press back into child's pose or downward dog, or if you have a vinyasa and it's within your practice and you'd like to take that, please allow yourself to take that. Those of you on your back, slowly on the inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, release that left foot down. And then those of you who are in full pigeon, we're all going to meet on our backs. Bring the hands, palms down next to the hips. Now inhale, lift the hips up and shift the hips over to the left side. On the exhale, bring your knees towards the chest and then drop your knees over towards the right side. And I have a 90-degree angle, give or take, at the hips. My left arm is still on the floor. There's a 90-degree angle at the back of my knees, so it's almost like sitting down in a chair. Deep breaths. Arms open in a T. If this feels pretty easy and your left shoulder and arm are on the floor, maybe you extend that left leg out to the right and plug the big toe into the ground. You're going to get a deeper stretch to the outer side of that left hip. If that feels pretty good, we're not forcing anything here, no pain. Maybe you grab your left foot with your right hand. If that feels pretty good, maybe you bend your right knee and bring your right heel towards your left hip or the left side. Maybe grab the right foot with the left hand. Spine is still long. The crown of the head is still stacked above the head, so I'm not in a slanted way. Wherever you are, deep, deep inhales. Deep, deep exhales. We have 2 more breaths to go. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then very, very gently release whatever you're holding onto, coming back to center. If you need to hug your knees, the knees into your chest, or find happy baby here, allow yourself to take it. If you're ready to move on to the opposite side, remember to shift your hips over to the right this time. Knees towards the chest and let them drop towards the left. And the reason we shift the hips is to keep a nice long spine. If you took it on the other side, extending the right leg, big toe plugs into the floor. As long as the right shoulder, right arm are still on the floor, maybe you grab the right foot with the left hand. If that still feels good, maybe you grab the left foot with the right hand. Shoulders are down on the floor, chest turning up towards the ceiling. Breath is moving. Inhaling deeply. Exhale. In. Exhale. And then gently releasing back to center. We're going to bring the feet close to the hips, palms facing down, next to the hips, heels as close to the hips as possible. On the inhale, we're going to lift the hips up, keeping your glutes as soft as possible. Maybe you stay here and hold. Maybe on the exhale, you lower down, and then on the inhale, you lift up. Maybe you have the room to walk your hands underneath your hips, clasp. Maybe you even walk your shoulders underneath your body. Chin towards the chest, glutes are soft, neck is still. Inhale deeply. Exhale. One more full round of breath. And then gently on the exhale, softly release whatever you're holding on to, start lowering down. Bring the bottom of the foot to touch, knees splay outward. Arms can be out in the T or at the hips, or right hand at the navel, left hand at the center of the chest. And you can go back to that breath as you inhale, expanding through the navel area all the way up to the chest. And then exhaling, chest, ribs cinch together, navel squeezes in and up towards the spine. 2 more nice long deep breaths here. And then gently, unless you have any other shape that you'd like to get into, maybe shoulder stand if it's in your practice, and then coming into fish pose as counter stretch. If you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, extending one leg at a time. Maybe you'd like to grab a blanket to cover up, turning the palms up towards the ceiling. Let the toes splay outward naturally, so the hips are naturally open. Coming into full and complete stillness, we're going to move into Yoga Nidra, which is walking the mind through the body and softening each body part as I call it out. If you feel like you need a towel or a blanket underneath the knees or a pillow to release the lower back, allow yourself to take it. And without creating any movement, allow the right fingers to soften. Hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm soft. Right shoulder soft. Right side body. Space between each right rib soft. Right hip soft. Upper leg soft. Knees soft and completely relaxed. Calf muscles soft. Ankles soft. Top of the foot. Bottom. All 5 toes soft and completely relaxed. Your left finger soft. Top of the hand. Bottom of the hand. Left wrist. Forearm. Elbow. Upper arm. Shoulder soft. Left side body. Space between each left rib soft. Left hip soft. Upper leg soft. Knee. Calf muscle. Ankle. Top of the left foot. Bottom. All 5 left toes. Soft and fully relaxed. Your whole entire right side. From the top of your shoulders to the tip of your toes, soft. Your whole left side, from the top of your shoulders to the tip of your toes, soft and relaxed. Your lower back soften, around the navel soft, mid-back, space between the shoulder blades, center of the chest, soft and fully relaxed. Right side of the neck, left side, front, back of the neck soft. Whole neck soft. All of the skin on your scalp soft. Skin on your forehead. Your right cheek, left cheek, both cheeks completely soft. Your jaw muscles soft and completely unclenched. The tip of your chin, lower lip, upper lip, inner sides of your mouth soft. Your tongue rolling away from the roof of your mouth. Your nostrils soft. The tip of your nose soft. Your whole nose soft. Skin around your eyes soft. Eyelids heavy. Eyeballs sinking deep into the back of the skull. Making the head heavier. Your right eyebrow soft. Left eyebrow soft. Both eyebrows completely soft. Space between the eyebrows, soft and fully relaxed. Imagine inhaling from the space between the eyebrows to the back of the skull. Exhaling back of the skull to the space between the eyebrows. Inhaling deeply, head heavy. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very, very slowly, start bringing your awareness back to your breath. Creating small movements with the fingers, toes, maybe movement to the neck or the shoulders, maybe ankles and wrists. Any little movement that will help allow you to reawaken the body from the inside out. And maybe on the next inhale, reaching the arms above the head, nice and long. Putting the toes, getting a full body stretch. The exhale, hugging the knees into the chest. Maybe rocking a little from side to side. Maybe rolling on to one side. Taking a moment here. And then very, very slowly, keeping the eyes gently closed. Make our way back up to a seat. Hands can be on the knees or at the center of the chest. Inhaling deeply from the very base of the spine to the crown of the head. Exhale deeply, side out to the mouth, let it all go. Thank you so, so much for allowing me to be of service. Namaste.